Reptichip sets the standard for reptile substrates. Made from the highest quality coconut available anywhere in the world, Reptichip allows enthusiasts and keepers to provide their reptiles with the necessary humidity and thermoregulation required for your animals to thrive. You can support the podcast by heading to reptichip.com/snakeboy or visit the link in the description below. This episode is brought to you in part by Exoterra. If you're as passionate about reptiles and amphibians as I am, you know that quality matters. I use Exoterra products on all my reptile and amphibian enclosures, which is why I'm excited to be partnering with them. From naturalistic decor to innovative lighting and enclosures of all sizes, Exoterra has everything you need for your cold-blooded companions. Exoterra, make your reptiles feel at home. This episode is brought to you in part by Unlimited Exotic Pets. Every day is Veranda Day for Nick Lillis, and it shows. At Unlimited Exotic Pets, Nick produces high-quality monitor lizards with a deep commitment to ethical care practices and top-tier nutrition. These aren't just pets. They're responsibly bred, ethically raised animals. Whether you're looking for a new companion, starting a breeding project, or anything in between, Nick has you covered. Unlimited Exotic Pets, keeping and breeding quality without limitations. This is the Expert and the Idiot podcast. If you like the show and you'd like to support us, there's a link to our Patreon in the description below. Some benefits include getting access to new episodes up to a month in advance. There's also links to USARK and USARK Florida. If you're not already a member, please sign up. Enjoy the show. So the weather said it was going to go down to 34 degrees, right? Not last night, the night before. And my wife has been covering the diamond pythons at night, and that keeps the temperature up like another 6 to 10 degrees. So I was like, all right, so it'll be like 40 something in there. We'll be golden, you know?
Yeah.
Well, apparently we're in what would be considered a frost pocket.
Ooh.
So I get up yesterday morning and come out, dude, and there's ice on everything.
Like thick ice, or is it just like the kind of
frost?
The frost. Okay. Still,
dude,
you don't like to see that.
I don't want to see that. And I immediately went out and started checking on the diamonds. 2 of them temped at 37 to 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't good. And then I found another one, and she was in like a shitty hide, and she temped at 33 degrees, dude.
Dang. And
that's 1 degree above freezing.
Yeah.
And so I pull her out, and I'm like, oh man, dude, she's not going to make it. And I put her up on the branches and put a camera on her and went to work. And I go to check, and she was gone from the branches. And I'm like, she's laying on the bottom of the cage dead. Like, I killed my diamond python for sure.
Yeah.
And I had to wait like 3 hours for my wife to get home. And she's like, no, she's good. She came down and went into her hide. 33 degrees.
Wait, so you weren't home when this happened?
I was home in the morning, and then I had to go to work. So I just put her up in the tree and just went to work, dude. And I'm at work just dying, like anxiety.
Yeah, that's what's so rough about like keeping animals to this degree, but then you can't be home because you got to go to work a lot. Like, dude, god damn, that's stressful, man. It sucks you had to go through that, dude.
She's good. And I stayed up until after midnight last night making insulated hides, and I moved them into the garage last night. Dude, I went out there at like 11:30, and there was frost on everything again. And meanwhile, like all my coworkers, they're closer to the coast, so they're not getting any frost. So we're like in this weird pocket where we get this frost. So now everybody has insulated hides that I made out of that purple insulation foam.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude, it's terrifying. So now they don't have any hides except for that hide. So like if you want to hide, you got to hide in the warm hide, you know? And so yeah, I had to get them back out of the garage and into their cages. The sun's coming up. I think it's going to be warmer today. It's already like 60 outside, but holy shit, dude. What the hell, man? Like that
stressful.
so stressful, dude. I didn't expect that with keeping animals outside. I didn't. And then here's another fun fact. If you use a temp gun and you temp a reflective surface, you're actually you're reading the temperature of the reflection,
not
of the surface.
Right.
So when I went out, I temp gunned the top of the tarp to see what the top of it was.
Yeah.
It was 15 degrees because it was getting the reflection of the temperature in the sky.
Yeah, not the actual enclosure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
God damn it.
No.
That's why this is the expert and the idiot.
Yeah, dude. You know, man, so I just had John Irby on the show, and one of the things that we were talking about before the show privately in the chat was like he likes to temp gun the body temperature of the snake. And I was always told that's very inconsistent because the way snakes could hold on to heat and they could they could keep it a temperature they want doesn't necessarily tell you that's the temperature in the enclosure. It's just telling you what their body temp is. So if you're trying to accurately get your enclosure to a specific temperature, you would think you would want to read the perch or something like directly, in the cage, like no glass, nothing blocking it. Get your ass in the cage and temp gun. I feel like the perch, and it sucks because and John's been around for a minute, man. He's one of the goats. And so I forgot to ask him why he prefers to do the body temp, which I'm sure he's more. You have people who are able to tell body temperatures during digestion, like when they have eggs in them and whatnot. So I never read them off that. I always just read off what temps I'm shooting for in the cage, and that's all I give a fuck about. So again, everyone has different ways of temp gunning, but yeah, definitely don't temp gun a tarp next time.
Well, and that was I was just like, how cold is it out here? Because like I could see my breath like crazy. Like,
okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's cold, bro.
Like, like when you go outside and like it looks like you're like vaping or smoking. There's so much like you're just like what happened last night?
Like you're in New York or some shit. You're just fucking
All the roofs had ice on them. Every roof in the neighborhood had ice. The grass had ice. I'm like, I'm cooked. I killed my python.
So how cold was it? Like actually, what was the actual temperature outside, if you could recall?
I wish I would have, dude. I was so frantic because I was getting ready for work too, and getting ready to take the kids to school, and trying to save my pythons, and trying to unwrap their cages and everything so they get blasted with the sun. Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
Keeping snakes outside is well,
it's cool.
It requires it's you can't just have like a simple hide. Like you need an insulated hide.
That's
for sure.
why the sick ass outdoor enclosures. And again, like I was looking to do outdoor enclosures for the lace monitors, but I was like, all right, my ideal outdoor enclosure for a lace monitor is going to have something in a sense that's going to be a huge chicken coop that they could go in and go get heat whenever they want. Like if they don't want to be outside, they could almost walk into a whole nother cage that's indoor, and they have that option. And if you look at zoos and all that, they all have that. They bring them in for the night or whatever, shut the big thing, and then they're there for the night, and then they open it, but it's huge. It's like a whole nother enclosure. And so I was like, dude, I would, in a sense, do you follow the guy named Chris? What's his last name, dude? He's out there in Alabama, works with monitors and really crazy exotic animals. Like he built a full-on outdoor enclosure / indoor enclosure facility for his animals.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Clearly, it's like, I don't know how much money he dumped into that, but it's no joke. And I'm like, that's how it should be done. If you're going to do it, otherwise you never know. Like you're at the mercy of the the outside temperatures and the fucked up shit that could happen in our area. Like I got fires to worry about in my area. I mean, you got fucking chilly weather, but then also hot weather. Like you got a lot of, then you got, what is it? Hurricanes. Hurricanes. Yeah. You got hurricanes to worry about. So yeah, there's a lot of shit, bro, that comes into play when these things are kept outside, bro. But again, it's like you're learning this right now as you're keeping them. So, and that's how I learned too with a lot of things. I had an idea and then I learned, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And with the whole temp gun thing too, Sean Perry is like one of the smartest guys I know. And
Sean Perry, why do I know that name? Is that the dude who works with Short Tails?
Sound Serpents.
Yeah. Hey, Sean Perry. What? I haven't heard that name in a long time. Shout out to Sean. That's a really good guy right there.
Such a good
I
guy.
like that guy.
Dude, I talk to him every single day. He's a very good friend. And
Good man.
yeah, he hit me up and we were talking about the temp gunning, and he's like, this is why a lot of people have issues dialing in like ARS racks, because they're so reflective. He said what he does is he takes masking tape and makes and puts masking tape on and then temp guns that, so there's no reflection. So you're temp gunning a matte surface and getting the most accurate temperature possible.
Got it. That's a good hack right there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
And that's the whole point of doing these podcasts, right? Is learning. And sometimes you learn the hard way, unfortunately. You know that. I know that. And that's the thing too, is like how do you feel about starter reptiles? I know it's like a really cringy word, but in my mind, a starter reptile is something that is reproductively fecund, very hardy. So that way, as a new keeper, you can make mistakes and learn along the way without killing an $1,800 animal. Like something that like.
But you got to understand too, Adam. Even a plant is easy to kill, right? Like it's as much as you are careful. It's these things for the most part, like a ball python, right? That could sit in a rack for a fucking very long time. Like all it takes is one mishap with your heats, and you'll cook that shit. So it's like, like I think there are great starter reptiles out there for sure. Especially like, this is why what makes me cringe is I feel like it's a norm. Like people find higher end stuff into the hobby without any reptile really keeping experience. And then they go in and immediately go in for the high end stuff before they can even figure out if this is even suitable for their life. Like, do you have the time? Because as much as this is like set it and forget it, you do have to pay attention, bro. Like you got to come into your room.
Oh my God.
You got to look at temps. Like if you're not doing the basic needs by these animals because your life is too busy, don't keep them. It's that simple. But people don't realize that until they got a room full of animals and then life happens. And then next thing you know, the reptiles just aren't the number one priority. And I'm sorry, but I get it. I know there's levels to this. Like there's the pet keeping side. You got a life. That's great. But if you got a room full of animals and the reptiles are not your second priority after your family, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it. The reptiles aren't my number one love. Of course, there's family. I get that. Family is my number one. But this helps my family. And again, not everyone does this as a business, but you are keeping living animals. And that's a huge responsibility. So I think no matter what, if you have intentions to want to have a room full of reptiles, get a starter reptile for sure. And whatever that starter reptile is, I feel like there could be a bunch of easy to keep. Like if you're like, okay, you know what? I do want to give it attention. I do want to show what I'm made out of with this reptile. Then perfect. Get a ball python, get a crested gecko. The list goes on. There's so many. I would even think outside the box and don't even get a typical like normal pet snake that people get if you're already paying attention. Like I would say get a fucking green tree python. Start with a carpet python. You know what I mean? As long as you're starting with one and you're willing to dedicate your attention to it and you're listening to podcasts, then dude, I feel like this is great for you to start off that way. But then again, if you're unsure, you got to do more homework. It's simple as that. This isn't, taking over living things just isn't like I'll see if it works out. That's fucked up. I think that's messed up. I really do.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. And like even like a carpet python, they're hardy as shit. Like they can get cold.
Yeah.
They can get cold. They can get hot. Corn snakes, you can brumate them, so as long as you understand like clearing their digestive system out and letting them go into brumation and everything, like you have that room for error.
Yeah. And
so one of my coworkers, Richie, shout out to Richie, he wants to get a reptile and he's never had one, but he keeps saltwater fish. And I'm like, he's like, dude, Europlatus, well, he doesn't know the scientific name, but he's like, dude, look at these geckos. And I'm like, those are really cool, dude, but they're over $1,000 a piece. And if you make a mistake while you're learning, they're not as easy. They're not as easy as a crested gecko. You spend $50 on a crested gecko and you can kind of dial them in. You can learn easier with them. They don't need insects, right? You can just mix them up some food.
I only feed my crested gecko, my breeder colony. They're only on the Pangaea or whatever.
Pangea.
Yeah, Pangea. They're only on that stuff. I don't do insects, bro. I really don't. I did for a while when I had all the tree monitors. Man, if you go back to some of my podcasts, you'll hear crickets in the background. You hear all that shit. I don't miss any of that stuff, bro. Ugh, I just don't like insects. Don't like spiders. And again, more insects than spiders. I would rather mess with a spider than an insect for whatever reason. Insect. It was that movie Area. Wait, what was it? Troopers? Star Troopers. Yes.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. When they got attacked by those crazy ass freaking bugs, dude. That gave me some sort of icky thing with insects, bro. But again, I love all living things. I'm just saying, I'd rather not. But no more crickets, no more dubia roaches. I just do the powder, dude. And they do great, man. And again, too, like I feel like one thing this hobby has is you have a parent who has a kid and the kid's interested. So now the parent has to get interested. And that's the normal thing that we have. That's the thing this hobby will always have is the children. We have kids that love reptiles, and that's never going to go away. As long as kids can still look at books, as long as kids can still see zoos and see dude, they're always going to fall in love with it. It's like the same way you and I did. I mean, It's not 9 out of 10 people love reptiles, but if we on a kid scale, dude, at least 5 out of 10 kids fuck with a reptile, like at a young age where they're just like, want to know what's it about. At least 5 out of 10, you would say. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say like
more.
I would say 9 out of 10 kids. Like if I bring one of my snakes outside, all the kids that my kids play with in the neighborhood gather around and they want to see it and they want to touch it. Whether they're girls or boys, like I feel like when they get older, that's when you get that learned fear. That's when, you kind of get disconnected and then they're not interested. But I feel like kids are like, shit, it might be 10 out of 10. That's why they do the reptile stuff at schools and everything. That's why snake discovery is so popular.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, it's usually the ones who, because, as much as I want to say 10 out of 10, I always see that one girl or that one boy who's just like, nope, I want nothing to do with that. And that's fine.
True.
That's fine. That's normal, But the thing is, when they don't ever revisit that again and they're 30, then they hate it. They all they know is like, oh, I saw one when I was 6, didn't touch it, didn't want to do with it. And then they just have never had an experience with that snake ever again. And in their head, it's just an evil thing. And that's kind of another, normal way of kids growing up is they see it, not a fan of it, but no one actually kind of broke it down or like let them know it's okay. Some of them do. And again, not reptiles are starting for everybody. Just like me, like I think reptiles are the awesomest thing, but my grandma, dude, you can't even say the word snake around my grandma. And there's other people like, like me, like I respect the whole spider game, but don't bring one to my house. I would be really upset if you bring a tarantula to my house. And so that's me. And so I get it. Like everyone has their, whatever floats your boat, but reptiles, bro, I mean, we already see the growth. We already know where it's headed. Celebrities are getting more like comfortable owning them, which is great. You know what I'm saying? And it's only the beginning, dude. Like this is what's crazy is everything that we been a part of is literally just the beginning of so much other stuff to come. I feel like because as much as we should still always support USARK Florida. You never know, but man, in my heart, I just feel like reptiles will always be a part of what we do, like dogs. You know what I'm saying? Or like it's just something that America will never really just say we can't have, or like it. We just won't. We won't go for it.
This episode is brought to you by Chewy. Most people think of Chewy for dog and cat food, but if you keep reptiles, you should absolutely be using them too. Chewy carries everything from all the brands you trust, like Exoterra, Arcadia, Zoomed, and everything in between. Live feeders to frozen rodents, enclosures, substrate, heat lamps, thermostats, water bowls, misters, and more, all in one place, shipped straight to your door. Sign up for Chewy Plus today, free for 30 days. You get free shipping, 5% rewards, and exclusive offers. I use Chewy, and you should too. With your crested geckos, do you cohab them?
Yeah. So I have 1 male and 3 females, and 4 different groups. Just too much, but I have too much, dude. I don't know what to do with them. I really don't. At this point, they're like I don't want to say I enjoy them, but I don't like not enjoy them. I'm glad they're here because like I've been like farming kids from them from the last like year and a half.
It's so disturbing to say it that way.
Yeah, but obviously it's going to what I need to the chondros. So it's but what's crazy is it just I haven't had to use them, and so I don't know, man. I'm so worried to where like, all right, if I let this colony go, or then what? I guarantee there's gonna be a point I need them again. So I don't know what to do, man, other than just raising up the babies to a certain point and then putting them down. But I got so many crested geckos at this point, dude. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do.
I want to get some babies off you.
Yeah, I could do that. Dude, yeah, no problem. I used to be like, nope, sorry, dude, they're mine. I don't know when I'll need them, but now, bro, I can't fucking supply the whole goddamn hobby, but I got you. I will send you some crested geckos all day, dude. Just government shipping, and I got you. And use Morph Market shipping, please. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I'll pay you. You can use Morph Market shipping.
Okay, I will do that.
I know you get the discounts.
Everybody does. It's not just me. You get a discount too. You know that, right? Oh, because you don't have Morph Market, the account. You don't have an account.
I do have an account. I just haven't used it yet. I need to get my my class 3 permit, I think it is, or something in Florida. I need to get some permit to be able to sell and ship reptiles and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's
wow.
It's some Florida thing. Like if you want to sell and ship reptiles outside the state, you need to have a permit to do so. It's like a $50 thing. I was talking to Jason Hood about that, and he was like, we need to get as many people in Florida as possible to have that, because it gives them a number of how many people there are, and how many owners there are, and then how many animals they keep too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, as much as that sounds like a pain in the butt, if you're in a state like Florida, that's just what needs to happen. You got to show them how many of you guys first give a fuck, but also are willing to go by the rules. I think because Florida's rules have been broken for so I don't know how many years. Like it's the wild, wild west of the reptile world is Florida. Florida's no joke, and it's always been like that because it's like the mecca where they all came in the beginning. So yeah, dude, Florida's a special. Man, that's why you guys have your own U.S. ARC. You guys are like your own thing because I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. My heart goes out to all the Florida keepers out there, but it's not easy for you guys. It really isn't.
Yeah, I need to, once you get that permit, then FWC comes in and I think they do an annual inspection or something like that.
Fuck that.
So, I mean, I'm cool with it.
House, dude. I know, but I just can't even imagine like, hey, we're here to look at yours. Fuck you, dude. You don't even know what the hell you're looking at. That would be my attitude is like, because I know Cody and Pia, and I remember having a conversation with Cody, and I don't know if it's like this now, but back when he would have people come check out, I believe, like I would told that some of these guys don't even know what the fuck, they don't even know what they're looking at. Some of these guys, not all of them, but some of these guys are just like, they're just inspecting and don't even know what the fuck they're inspecting, And so,
well, and I mean, that's, for me, it's kind of cool because I'm looking at it from, hey, maybe I can help educate you. Maybe I can show you what a good keeper looks like.
Yeah, there you go.
The condition of my cages, but even so, like last night, like I check on my animals twice a day minimum.
Yeah.
Every single animal. So before I go to work, everybody gets a check. And then when I get home, everybody gets a check. Last night, I was busy as hell. And of course, I open up my blood python tub and, she exploded shed everywhere and pissed. And like, I'm trying to clean that up. And then she had a little bit of stuck shed. So I soak her and then she poops in that, and it's, it's like, you run into those things where it's like, I don't have time for this right now. I'm trying to get other stuff accomplished, but
yeah. But that's a good way of thinking of it. I'm just such a private guy, and this is my private world. This is my little domain. Like the only one who could just barge in here are my wife and kids, nobody else. And so, but at the end of the day, I'm not in Florida. And if I was in Florida and I knew the rules and how shit can go, because dude, Florida will roll up into your house. Those motherfuckers, obviously we've seen videos of people going in there and just killing animals, which is fucking crazy. That is okay. I don't know what to do. I've seen after some shit like that, but so I get it, man. Yeah. Florida's, like I said, it's a different beast when it comes to keeping reptiles down there.
Well, and there's new leadership, and hopefully it's going in a more positive direction. Talking to the people I know at US ARC Florida, it is better leadership, and it's going in a better, more positive direction, more involvement. And, who knows, maybe this person that gets assigned to me that checks on my animals, maybe I can build a good relationship with them and not feel like I'm having the state come in to inspect my animals and cages and everything. Maybe it'll be it'll be a better relationship. You know, I'm hoping for that potential, trying to be positive, you know,
Yeah, it's the best way to be. And
because I don't have a choice either.
really,
you know,
you don't. Yeah. Do you hear about that law that passed in New Jersey?
no, what?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at the actual law, but it was enough for Gary to make a fucking scene in our chat saying, I'm probably gonna have to move out of New Jersey now. And
Whoa.
Gary's been there forever. And so I just know there's some sort of law that passed about exotic reptile keeping. Maybe I should have looked it up before the show, but yeah, it's not good for Jersey right now. It really isn't. So New Jersey. So I don't know, man. Things are subject to change, but we've seen some crazy shit like this happen and then it reverses. And so it's like, I don't know. You just never know. That's why it's always good to support USARK and USARK Florida and support your lobby, support your other hobbyists, talk about it. Because you gotta, as much as keeping this stuff is, we gotta protect what we love. And that's letting people know how we can protect it. So yeah, we just gotta talk about it more.
Well, and that's like, you know, that kind of brings into the whole conversation gatekeeping in the hobby, you know, like people that want to guard information and things like that. Like, shouldn't we, like, if somebody's interested, shouldn't we want to get that person in at the highest level possible and pass down that information to them so that way they can be the best keeper possible? And it just makes us stronger as a hobby.
I want to say yes. I really do, bro. I really wish I could say, yeah, man, you know what? I would like to sell somebody a green tree python, fly them to my house and show them how I do this. I want to show them everything. Do I really want to show you everything that I figured out over the last 8 years to get me success where I could feed my family? I made this a business. We know how things get saturated and flooded once everyone figures things out. So I'm not saying I'm not going to help people out, but then again, I don't know how I feel about telling everybody everything. Yeah. I worked really hard I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I go back and forth, man. I've heard this. Who talked about this on Steven's show? I think it was Rob Christensen. And I love Rob. He's a wholesome guy, really nice guy, not in it for the money. And you know, and I really respect that. And he said on the show how like since as long as he's been around, that hoarding the information was like the normal thing of this hobby. Like you had to work so hard just to even kind of get an idea what the pairing was or like whatever. Like people did not give you so much, but now look at it. You don't have a choice. Everything's already exposed to the point where like, now you want me to tell you how many times I fed this snake to get it to breed? Or like, I don't know, man. You got to figure that part out your own. I feel like I really do. That's called, do you know what food cycling is? Do you know why I feed this snake this way? You don't? So you're just going to do it? No, you should learn why I'm doing this. I feel like getting all the fucking cliff notes to getting to the breeding point just so you could have production and then sell. Dude, you did no work. Where's the work? You sacrificed minimal. I sacrificed a shit ton. So why the fuck am I going to give you everything that finally gave me some things that nobody's really done in the Chondro game? 70 for 70. I'm going to say it again. Who's done it? I'll wait. So I'm just saying, dude, I'm a competitive individual, but I love to see other people win. I have a Patreon. I've helped so many people. I've had so many conversations, but there are lines that I won't cross when it comes to giving you so much information. I'm not going to give you everything. And if you have a problem with that, figure it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm here to help, but I'm not going to tell you everything. Like, you know, you're one of the few people, Adam, and we're going to talk about this right now. I had a little something to say about a goofy individual you had on your show. And the reason why is because some people have the nerve to ask me how I make my sponsorship money. Like, hey, MJ, how do you get your sponsors? And I'm sorry, dude. If you're going to have that conversation with me, I mean, first and foremost, that's a personal question. I feel like, that's kind of a personal question, but you know what? I don't mind talking to you about it. And then I give you that information. Then I see some other type of behavior where you're showing you don't support what I'm doing after I gave you that information. Once I see anything like that, and then another reason why I have given people some advice and tips and it's fucking came back and slapped me in the face. So, and mainly on podcasting stuff. I had so many people come with podcasting advice, and next thing you know, these people are on the rally to try to get me out. So it's kind of like, shame on, what is that? Like,
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on, or no, fool me. George Bush nailed this.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right. So I give everyone a fair shot, bro. I swear to God, Adam, I was very fair to you, even though you thought I wasn't going to be fair to you. Haven't I always been very kind to you, dude? Like, haven't I always been very upfront, transparent? Even we've had a couple like passionate conversations before, but always kept it respectful. I've always respected the shit out of you because you gave me no reason. You don't ever give me a reason to feel like this dude is a fucking prick. He doesn't appreciate anything. He doesn't like understand as far as like the conversation at hand. Like you're a good listener, Adam. So it's awesome to talk to people like you. But again, kind of going back to like giving you everything that's made me successful. Dude, I just, as much as I want to say, yeah, dude, like as much as I want to be a bar check and be the kindest person in this hobby, I'm not there yet. I'm really not. I'm still building my empire. I'm still fucking just in the zone where I see my life going a place I never could imagine, but it's happening. And I'm so focused on that. And a lot of it comes with the money I make in this hobby. The effort I put into breeding, the effort I put into podcasting, which again, dude, anybody could do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a magical person doing what I'm doing. I just put consistency and a lot of work into it, and it takes time. And so even giving you all the tricks to the trade that I do, you're not going to be an MJ. You're not going to be a fucking Ryan Young at breeding. You got to put in the time.
Yeah.
So it's almost like what's good is me giving you all the answers to the life test of keeping reptiles up front when you come in. What good is that for you?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think that with you and I specifically, like I gave you room and I didn't come to you.
Yes, that's another thing. You weren't pushy, dude. And some of these guys are so cringy, pushy, like almost demanding my attention to where like I have to respond to their DMs for whatever reason when I don't owe anybody. And I give you guys so much on a fucking weekly basis already. Like, why do I have to respond to every single DM if I'm busy already? Like, and that's a thing. Like,
it gets hard. It gets really hard. And I'm starting to experience that now where it's like, I get a fair amount of messages to where some of them, I just swipe them away and think I'll get to that later. And sometimes I do forget. And I have had people ask me, how do you do X, Y, and Z? How do you get this? How do you get that? And it's kind of like, don't put the cart before the horse. Like you need to build that passion and figure that part out first, because
yeah. So
I know that's got to be the case with you, right? Is that
Adam, I'm staring at my request folder right now on Instagram. I'm staring at 7, hey, how are you messages. Hey, how am I? Well, okay, let me start off with answering all these fucking hi, how are yous, dude. Like, I'm not here to make small talk on social media. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's more like you could say hi, but tell me what you're hitting me up for. Like, yeah. I need to know what it is that we're going to talk about, because I'm not going to sit here, respond and go, okay, let's see what this guy wants. It's been 2 minutes. Let me wait. Oh, he replied. Fuck, thank you. Dude, I'm so go. And that's why a lot of these people need to understand, like, you can't really fucking demand someone's attention when you don't know what their day-to-day is like. I have 2 fucking kids that are pretty close in age. One of them's 2 months. One of them's 2.5, dude. All right? Like, yep. I don't know what more you want out of me. And I haven't missed a beat on Trap. I haven't missed one beat on Trap Talk. Everything still is consistent. If not, more is being put out on the network. So that's why I'm very minimal with how much effort I put into conversations on social media, bro. I do. And I have my own Patreon group chat, which I put all my effort into that. I say my good morning to all those people. I conversate with those people all the time. And that's where a lot of my energy goes into the people who support me. And again, when it's not that, when I'm not talking to them, I'm in my room working, or I'm on a podcast, or I'm spending time with my children. It's just never, the balancing act right now in my life is not easy. It's easy to drop everything is what I'm trying to say. So,
Yeah.
and then on top of working out, bro, working out's changed my life. I think the last time I was on 4 months ago, bro, I was just shy of 250 when I was on your show last time. Dude,
Yeah.
250 fucking pounds. I'm barely 6 feet. All right. So it's like, it's a big boy right there. So I'm
It
220.
was baby weight.
Yeah. I'm 220 now, bro. You know, I'm 220 now. Right. And so think about how much consistency I had to put into the gym on top of everything else I just mentioned. I don't fuck around when it comes to the gym now. That's my priority. That's because that helps me do everything else. So go ahead.
You're pretty fired up right now, and you got to be, kind of sleep deprived. I've been there. I've done that.
I'm actually really good. My sleep.
You're good.
My sleep score is so amazing. Yeah, I've been sleeping great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy. I mean, dude, like I know what it's like though, is what I'm saying. Like I have an 8-year-old, I have an 8-year-old and I have a 10-year-old, they're 2 years apart. And I remember that, know, and I remember going through that, and it's not there's no part of it is easy. And then when you put in all the animal care on top of it and being a husband with that, and it's a lot.
Yeah. And again, it's getting easier. Like it was, man, when Enzo was first born, that first 3 weeks was the most life testing challenges, because all that sleep stuff you're talking about, that was the thick of it. The first few weeks. Luckily his boy is a godsend when it comes to sleeping, dude. Now he's out for like 6 hours. And my wife, shout out to my wife. First and foremost, I feel like the reason why my kids are so awesome is because my wife, she's so awesome at what she does. And she has a lot of the nights, even though I was hurting, she was the one up, feeding him, throughout those nights of him getting adjusted. So it was hard on both of us, which was crazy. And to see my wife go through it, it weighs on me. Like, I hate to see my wife like be fucking miserable and just be like, the PTSD, or I'm sorry, what is it? The postpartum depression. That shit's a real thing, dude. Like that's scary. And so, people ask, oh, you don't have a third kid? And which kind of drives me nuts, because especially when the asshole who's asking doesn't have kids. I'm like, dude, fucking what? But again, I hate seeing my wife look miserable, and I hate seeing my wife feel that way. But women are just, I love women, man. I think they're just so strong. I again, seeing my wife be a mother, I just have so much more respect for moms, good moms, of course, because not all moms are great, but the moms who are really just put themselves behind their kids, which is hard to do, man. Like that's why parenting is not for everybody, because they don't know how to put their kids first. Like they struggle with that. And me, like I'm a very selfish person, but having kids, like, bro, I don't give a fuck about myself no more. Like I do, like taking care of myself matters, but one thing I check myself a lot now are my feelings and my emotions. If I'm feeling some type of way and I kind of want to get upset, MJ, I have to check myself. Like I have to like, dude, you're fucking leading this ship right now. And the captain always have to stay composed. Like you gotta be all right. And so that's the hard thing too, is like checking myself, even though I'm going through something, I gotta, like, holding it in as men is hard. I feel like that's why some guys break, dude, because a lot of guys just hold it in. They just hold it in. I feel like eventually I will emotionally let it out, and then I'm good again. And so I feel like it's good to let it out. But man, you got guys who are just built to where they just store it. They all store it, and they try to push it down as much as they can until that one thing breaks them. And so I never want to get to that point where I'm about to break and snap, because I've been there before. But again, working out, staying in my routine, not fucking missing a beat has kept me where I want to be. So I feel better than ever right now, Adam. My energy is the best it's ever been. Life, I feel like, is the best it's ever been right now for me. I'm very, very blessed.
I think it's going to be really interesting watching you as your kids get older too, because something I've noticed is that your kids are like feral, and as they get older, they will be mean to other kids. They'll have other kids be mean to them, and then they want to give it back, and like an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, and like, and you start understanding that it has made me a more compassionate person, because I have to practice what I preach. And if I'm telling my kids like, hey, maybe that kid doesn't have as good a parents that you have, and maybe that's why he said this thing, and maybe he's hurt and that's why he wants to hurt you, and trying to make them understand that not everybody's coming from the same place, you know? And so now I've become a more compassionate person.
Yeah.
Where I look at other people and I'm like, I can't sit here and say, you know, screw that guy, you know, get the hell out of here, because I wouldn't want my kids to say that to somebody.
But then again,
you know,
it does you no good if you were to do it with your kids not around, you know. You almost have to live what you're trying to live through your kid, with your kid being around or not being around. And that's what I'm trying to check myself, because I know how I am. And even at the Pomona, man, I had one of my biggest, Bob Smith, one of the biggest haters at Pomona, who's still trying to drag my name and Braden Wheeler's name in the mud. But, you know, like, not a thought went in through my head about like confronting him or whatever, because my kid was there. And I'm like, you know what? Like, who cares? Like, it's so minimal compared to what I'm trying to make impact wise in this hobby with my snakes, with my family, with my podcast. And so, and I just have to remember that. Like, I almost have to remember, like, Leo's always around me. Like, I have, you know, we're like, one of the biggest things is, I'm not worried about it, but we're going to Supercross for the first time right here in San Diego. It's a big thing for me. Supercross was like one of the biggest events that connected me and my dad when I was like real young. And so shit goes down at Supercrosses, man. Like, there's drunk people, there's people who are disrespectful. And like, I fought at events before. Like, if someone threw a beer at me or something, like but now here we are. I got a kid with me. I got my buddy and his kid. Like, I got to channel myself, man. Obviously no one's going to touch my kid or throw anything, but I got to remember just to stay away from anything that I don't want to be a bad example for my kid about, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And again, that's just part of being a new father, is just having that reminder. And then also too, dude, like, again, what if Leo isn't there and you get locked up over hitting somebody or something? It's just like, dude, I don't want any of that. I'm just trying to eliminate any little stupid thing that could get me either in trouble or, you know, in bad standards with what I'm trying to teach my kid. And I don't want that. So yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's as much as it's awesome being a dad, you are learning how much shit you got to check yourself on, and that's never ending, because, you know, keeping my cool, being a good example is just one of many things I need to change. I got a list of things I got to work on, dude. So it's just like, just hitting them one by one and just staying consistent. You know, like I said earlier, consistency is everything. Does you no good if you're trying to be one certain way and then you fucking, you know, contradict it. I'm just trying not to contradict anything. I don't want to be hypocritical. Just want to be a good example. And just, that's it, man. Because, you know, now my son's always watching. He's always listening.
Oh yeah.
He's always listening to me. Like I said, like, if I was having a bad day and like the dogs were being annoying, I would tell the dogs to shut up a lot. Like, shut up. And now he started saying shut up.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, now I say hush. I'm like, hush. And then now he says hush. He doesn't even remember the word shut up now. Thank God. So it's like, fuck, my whole vocabulary needs to change. And which is good, dude. I mean, it's fine. I'm all right. It's something, it's part of growing up, you know, and I think my dad always told me, he's like, when you have a kid, that's when you're going to get your, you know, you will man. If you're not a man by then, you are going to man up when you have a kid. So, but yeah, I've been, you know, working on that. So day by day, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's very, very hard, because whoever you are is who your children are going to become. You know, whatever you show them as being acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And again, one of the things that I need to just let go of is, like, if I have sense of fakeness from somebody, let them be fake, dude. Like, just, who cares? Like, and again, I don't mind it, but when those people try to get so close to me, that's when I kind of like almost have to make a scene to where, like, dude, leave me alone. Like, I don't want to. So, and again, I don't want to be that guy where I'm like, leave me alone. I'm so transparent, Adam, and I'm not fake. And I want to get into this topic if you're okay. I watched.
Yeah, go for it.
I watched an episode with you and Dylan, Animals at Home podcast. And, you know, Dylan's been somebody I've respected. Like, I still do. I think his work is great. The way he presents a lot of the episodes are like really top notch. But he said something at hour and 38 minutes in your episode.
Oh man, dude, you took notes. Holy shit. You didn't warn me about this.
Yeah. An hour, 38 minutes. And this is, I need people to listen to this, because this is going to tell you right now the problem with majority keepers, reptile, podcasters, whatever. Because I paid very close attention to what this man said. Okay. But he was talking about the comments he was getting on a certain video. and that like people have a perception as far as like what type of person Dylan is, like who he is. And if you watch a lot of his stuff, he's very vanilla. Like he's a narrator, you know, he doesn't have much emotion, if very, very minimal to zero emotion. So he doesn't show you a personality really. He's just there to talk. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I go off being authentic. Like for me, you are going to know my personality because I don't know how you could do anything without being who you are. And I'm not saying how Dylan does his show is wrong. That's how he does it. But this fucking hobby is missing people who just want to be real and authentic and speak from the heart. And if they feel a certain way, they feel a certain way. And that's okay. You know what I mean? And it's okay to have different opinions. But dude, he also said that reptiles is like the third thing that is really important in his life. Swimming's number one. And this is with him in a room full of reptiles, right? And so, again, that's fine, dude. I think we should all have multiple things we really love out there. But if you are going to present yourself on a podcast, I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, again, to each their own. It just made me realize how happy I am to be myself on a podcast. The reptiles are my life, first and foremost. My family's number one, but reptiles, it's my life, dude. And so I feel like people should take with what they want to take when they hear information on reptile podcasts. And again, I like Dylan's content. He puts good content, but what he said really stuck to me because how many other people out there like reptiles, they like them. They're just not that number one thing, but here they are putting on a platform, putting on a page, making it seem like reptiles are that big thing in their life, but they're really not. You see what I'm saying? Does that kind of like make sense at all? And again, I'm using Dylan's quote as an example. I'm not saying this is Dylan. I'm saying how many fucking people are faking the funk out there? How many people out there are trying to get something going on social media because they know it brings some sort of income for others who are successful? But really, do you really love it? Like, are you really about the passion for the animal? Like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I mean, that was like last night, right? Like my sleep hygiene is
you sacrifice.
It's such a high priority, right? Like it's like my sleep hygiene is so important to me. Like if I don't get 7 hours of solid sleep, I'm not myself. And but guess what? Like the animals took precedent over that. Where last night, okay, I have a lot of stuff to deal with. It's going to be a late night. The animals are the priority. I'm going to have to sacrifice myself and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to slam coffee and take care of more stuff and then podcast with MJ and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, I mean, and for me personally, it is the animals. I mean, I work a lot of overtime and it's to be able to get caging and take better care of my animals. Right. Like like my Argentine boa is getting an upgrade to an 8x2, you know? So it's like that is my priority. You know, I'm showing up an extra day at work at the plant.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's a lot of blood, sweat and tears. And I couldn't give it up. You know, there's no way I could give it up.
Yeah. You know, Justin Gabelka, man, shout out to him, but we had a conversation because we were talking about like, man, there's so many people complaining about the market and like, you know, like just the morph market topic. And you just see like this specific group of people just always in the comments and just always trying to bring down anything, just trying to bring it all down. And then me and Justin thought like, man, if we really look at it, each individually to one of these people that are complaining, dude, none of them take this hobby serious. They're not really, really seriously in this hobby. Because anyone who's really seriously in the hobby, focused, and even are successful, they're not complaining. We're not trying to put fear into people's minds that, you know, you shouldn't be buying snakes right now. Breeders are going to screw you over. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to discredit all the work a lot of these good breeders have done. Like, yeah, there's some bad breeders, just like anything else. How can you say there's not bad and good in everything we do in life? It's part of what we do. But think about the legitimate breeders who have changed other breeders' lives. Like, you know what I'm saying? And continue to do that. And there's so many breeders, bro, that aren't even on social media that are good. Like, you understand, like, people always think, oh, whatever's out there is all on social media. Not the case, dude. There are people who just do this for themselves, believe it or not, okay? There's people out there who don't want to be on social media. They don't care for it. But if you go to their house, it looks like they have TikTok. It looks like they have Instagram. They have YouTube because how sick their shit is. But guess what? It's for them. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at too. Like, you know, say what you want. Like, let's say those assholes years ago that wanted to cancel me, let's say they canceled me, right? Let's say I stopped the podcast. You think I would stop keeping reptiles? Like, if you somehow, okay, which is good luck. Like, you're never going to stop MJ from podcasting. But let's say that worked. Let's say you unplugged Trap Talk. Do you think I'm going to stop keeping reptiles, Adam? You know what I mean? The only thing that you're going to make me do is probably go get a real job, which I'm okay to do. And you're going to probably save my sanity because I'm not going to give two shits about social media. Social media is a fucking, it's evil. Social media is very consuming, and it makes people think there's lives out there that aren't even fucking remotely as close as they think it is. Okay. And so I only do social media as much as I do because it's a part of my job. It's a part of what I do. It's a reason why I don't have no issue selling snakes. It's a reason why my network is number one, is because of social media, and I fucking work hard at it. Okay. But it's also not that much fun to deal with when it comes to the people. It's not. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it kind of wears you out, especially when your wife needs help and she's staring at you, and you finally got a hold of that guy who wants to buy a $4,000 snake from you. And you're like, babe, like, please. And she's like, dude, you told me this 10 minutes ago. And you're like, I know, but it's about to happen. You know, I'm about to close it, or something like that. Or like in your case, like, dude, the thermostat's off, babe. The rack's overheating, and she's getting on by the baby, and Leo's fucking on the stove trying to light fires. Like, it's like, dude, like, that's the shit that goes down. You know what I'm saying? So I you know, at the end, were we really talking about that before? Like, what was the topic on?
Being a reptile keeper first.
Oh. Yeah. So well, and what I meant also with what I was talking about is just, I don't know, man, like, this is so life consuming as just a keeper. I don't know why. I don't know. I think you could have multiple passions. Like, I love music, right? But if I think about what takes the majority of my time on a day-to-day basis, that's going to be most important to me than anything else. So I spend my most time with my family. Thing right after that is the reptiles. And again, dude, really, reptiles and family is the only world I know. and I'm not saying that's good. I there are other hobbies I want to get into. There definitely is. Like, I miss playing softball. It'd be cool to get back on a softball team or something. But
good luck with that, dude.
Yeah. But again, you know, I don't know. I'm just so happy with what I'm doing. And it does take a balancing. Like, every now and again, I need to set back and like, all right, dude, you're doing way too much here and not enough here. Let's balance it, because that's how I get sometimes. Sometimes I'm all focused on the goddamn network and the podcast where I'm like, dude, you haven't paired this snake up and it's March. Like, pair it up, you know? So I got to remember to balance it. And again, that takes time. Every day is different. And I just feel like, again, kind of going back to Dylan's quote, if you're coming into the hobby and you want to keep a lot of reptiles, but you have swimming, basketball, all this shit that comes first, maybe don't keep so many. I don't know. Maybe just chill and focus on the stuff that you love the most, versus trying to start a whole goddamn room full of reptiles with a podcast, with a, you know, making it seem like reptiles are your number one. Because that's what's crazy is he even said it. He's like, people think reptiles is all my life. It's not. Whoa. Like, that was almost like, fuck the reptiles. That's how I took it. The way, even though he didn't mean it, it was more like, dude, if you think these things are number one, they're not. Like, almost like I got a life. And it's like, that's how I kind of, and I don't think he meant it like that, but perception is everything. The way you hear things is the way you hear things. And that's how I took it. I took it as like, well, like, there are cooler things out there than reptiles, which I'm sure, to each their own. Right. But if you are at this capacity, you have a podcast, you've been doing it for so long, and it's number 3 or 4 on your list of passion.
Yeah.
Shocked me. Didn't have that on my bingo card, you know? And so I don't know. I feel like anyone who has some sort of a platform and is speaking negatively about the hobby is literally either checking out or has already checked out, or things just aren't working out for them. And they're wondering what they should do. But it almost comes from a place of like uncertainty, scared, not sure, or you just miserably failed at it and you don't want to see anyone else be successful. That's the way I sum it up when it comes to the ones who are very vocally kind of talking down on the hobby or market right now, you know? Cause dude, it's crazy. Like Morph Market posted a reptile super show, like photo of people there, and all these people in the comments were like, well, nobody's there to buy snakes. We're all, you know, and it's like people weren't even there at the show are talking shit. And it's like, dude, like, what do you want that to happen? Do you want every vendor not to sell? Would that make you feel better? It's like, do you feel better knowing that people can't sell snakes? It's almost like the energy people are wanting out there, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, why? Like, we got to be happy for a packed filled show. Like, there's people there, and it was a photo taken at like 10 a.m. and you're already talking shit about there's no snakes in people's hands at 10 a.m. Dude, I actually did really good that weekend. I vended that show that weekend. So I'm coming from a place where my table was packed nonstop, probably the busiest show I've ever vended for sure. And I had the best sales I've ever had for sure, hands down.
That's
so
awesome.
Again, man, I feel like be careful where you are listening to a lot of the inside or outside talk of the hobby. Just look at who's talking for the most part. And then I feel like it would give you a better idea of what's really happening. Cause I don't know. I think again, it's just part of and it's not just a reptile hobby. Everything in life, you just have people who are not happy right now. It's a tough time. It really is. You got people who can't work or whatever, man. It's just, it's a fragile time for the world right now. And so, but I'm going to do my best to keep it positive. I'm going to do my best on my platforms to let people know the truth. And the truth is the reptile hobby is bigger than ever right now. It's amazing. It's such a great place to be a part of.
It is. And sometimes I wonder if like people that are negative, if that negativity is coming from negative interactions that they're having, or maybe it's their friend group. Maybe they're just surrounded by a bunch of negative inputs. And so now they see the world through this negative lens.
And if you look at some of these people, maybe it's them. Maybe they are the ones. It's not it's not their peers. They're the ones that are saying it. It's coming out of their mouth. You know what I'm saying? And there's a certain podcaster out there right now to where all he has is bringing hot topics that make the hobby look bad. That's all he gives a shit about. And it's like, and you know, I wouldn't expect less. I mean, the guy is who he is. And so, but we're not like that. You know, that's why, again, I would always come on your show because you are the future of this hobby, Adam. I feel like, yeah, man, people need to love the animals first and let that take them to the next step, like it did for you, like it did for me. None of this podcast would have happened without the love of the animals. Obviously, breeding wouldn't happen without the love of the animals. I legit love the animals. And I think that's what people need to do before they think of a brand, before they think of a business name. Do you love the animals? Like, are you really down for this? That's it. Like, ask yourself that, especially if you're in the middle of building right now. You're talking to your wife about expansion, all this shit. Just ask yourself, do you really love this shit? And if the answer is yes, fucking full send, dude. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Keith McPeak had a great post weeks ago.
I love that guy. Hey, by the way, congratulations, Keith, on your successful surgery. Dude, he had open heart surgery, bro. Oh, man.
And recovery. He's recovering. He's back in his reptile room. And I think it was just before his surgery. He was talking about how everybody used to focus on keeping the animals and how keeping them well was the priority. It wasn't breeding them.
Yeah.
It was how well can you keep them? You know, can you provide them with what they need, and getting back to that as a priority. And I think that should be a thing. And I think that should be celebrated when there are people who want to get into the hobby and just keep an animal as best as they possibly can. You know, I think that should be celebrated, and it shouldn't be, oh, well, if you're not breeding, then get the hell out of here. You know?
No, dude, honestly, like I didn't know there was a breeding world when I first kept a reptile when I was 6, all the way till I was like 30, dude. Like, I just thought you kept a reptile and that was your department. You're a pet keeper and enjoy it. And I was okay with that. I never thought about like, let me be a breeder until I was introduced to the world. But mind you, I had years of love for the animal. Like, I just was like, this is the coolest thing ever, you know? Until I was like, oh, wow. Like, welcome to this world, right? And yeah, I was made for the breeder world. I love making life. I love creating life. It's an awesome thing, and it's stuff. It's my favorite reptile that I get to create life from. So, yeah, dude. Where was he going? I'm my mind blanks again. What we were talking about.
You need some of that methylene blue.
I know. I'm looking at it right now. No, what we were talking about right before the
just being positive and having positive inputs, and I think that
yeah.
And I you know me, like I prefer to be drama free. I prefer to steer away from the drama and the negativity.
Kindness is a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah, kindness is your superpower. And it really is though, MJ. And I wholeheartedly meant that.
I know.
Because I kind of want to go back to how I gave you space. I didn't ask anything from you. You hit me up and you said, yo, dude, I like what you're doing. We should collaborate sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, look at that. Holy cow. Like that's huge. That's huge props coming from MJ. Right. And I think that's where that, I said this on Cush's podcast. You kind of have that big brother energy towards me.
Yeah.
That, you're like, hey, how can I help you? Do you want to come on the show? Do you want to come on with these guys? Who do you want to come on with? We should collaborate. We should do this. We should do that.
Right.
And we have this great back and forth, and to the point where, when I don't understand, some of the hate you get and everything, but when the MJ I know,
yeah,
it is your kindness that's your superpower,
Yeah, because I can be kind, I am mostly kind until the person gives me that one reason, and I feel like my reasoning bar should raise a little bit, and I'm working on that. But I'm also just very my threshold with tolerance of like time wasting is so thin, dude. It just really is, because I do stress about what I have to do for the day. Like I'm always thinking about like what more needs to be done before I hit the time where I got to put my kid down to bed. Like, and I always feel like, and the days are just, man, I feel like the days go by, dude. I really do. So I definitely could chill out some. And I know that. I even tell myself, MJ, bring it down a little bit, dude. Like, come on. Like everyone knows you're busy. They're busy. Just try to take a deep breath. And when I do that, I'm good. But sometimes I forget to take a deep breath. That's all it is. Like sometimes I'm looking at a message in the thick of something where like, hopefully I don't respond to it because I just do. But sometimes I do. And I'm just like very short to the point. And are you done asking me stuff? Can I go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I do come off dickheadish. I'm not going to say like, oh, dude, I'm kind to everyone. No, I'm not, dude. I'm really not. And I know I need to work on that. I really do. I don't deny that at all. But again, I'm very confident on giving people a fair shot when I first meet them. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. Until that moment happens where I'm like, all right, saw foul there. That's weird. I'm going to be careful. And then if I see a red flag, I'm good. I don't need to go to you, explain, hey, this is what no, dude, I'm good. I just want to go back to my life. And I'm just right. Like I said, I've been using the block feature a lot lately and it's awesome. I also need And I also got to be careful because I don't want to just block everybody. And I feel like if I do, I'm going to eventually have no one to follow. I'm going to block everybody. But I'm just like any kind of weird energy or attitude or kind of like something I just don't feel like is going to help me or even you. I just block them, dude. I do. Simple as that. And again, I've blocked some of these people and ran into them at a show. And I'm like, dude, it's nothing personal, man, but I don't understand what you meant by that message. And I don't feel like it gave me good energy. Like I don't feel good. But if we want to talk about it, we're here. And guess what? However they felt in the message is not there in person. It never is. Like, however, whenever I get pressed in my DMs, I run into these people and it's not the same energy. It's just a mood. They're in some sort of mood. Something happened to them that day and they want to take it out on MJ for whatever reason. And that's the thing, because I put myself out there so much, they know they can. They know they could go to my DMs. They know they could fucking go and try to get my attention in comments and stuff like that. And again, I'm very good at just ignoring that stuff now. But if it comes to interactions, dude, our interaction better have a purpose. Like we better be talking about something. Like it better be like, hey man, you did bring this guest on, or hey, what's up with this pairing that you have, or how can I know what you're working with? Stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm into, that's how you gain. If you want to know how you get MJ's attention, that's how you get my attention. Like with questions like that.
let me ask you something. How important is lifting weights to the podcast and to your ability to keep and be a father? How important is that?
Lifting weights, like going to the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everything. I don't, because how much energy I have and how I do hold stuff in, because, got to hold it in and hold it down. I don't have to hold shit in at the gym. I let it all out. At the gym, I'm fucking, man, I take it out on the weights. I really do.
And so that is like a top priority of yours then, in order for you to be better at podcasting, at everything, right? At keeping
in life, period.
Okay. So maybe that's where Dylan's coming from with swimming.
Maybe. Yeah. But again, like, I don't,
like, maybe he gets out there, dude, and he just does laps and burns everything off. And that is his oxygen. So he can help other people. So he can do other things at the highest level possible.
Maybe that's what he meant by that. But
I think that is what he meant.
I know, maybe, but if you think about what came out of his mouth, he says, people think all I care about, or not, as far as not all I care about, I forgot what, I mean, I could even replay, I saved it, but he said that people think my life is just all reptiles, and like, that's all that matters. And the thing is that he says, it's not even second priority. It's my family. And again, maybe now that you're talking about swimming, which it is a workout, right? And that's probably how he gets it in a sense. Now I see, okay, that's what he meant. Right. And that's a good point. That's honestly a solid point. But for me, it is. I'm not going to deny it. I get it now. Like, swimming is his outlet. That's his way. And again, if I was doing, like, I don't know, like if motocross was my way of working out, I love motocross so much where I get it now. I might put motocross in front of the reptiles if I was actually doing it, but I don't. I work out. So, but then again, I work out like I brush my teeth. Like, I don't always enjoy working out. Like, working out isn't something that fucking is like so easy to do. No, there are days I don't want to go. Like, and that's why I have a personal trainer, because I paid for that shit. I'm going. So I make sure I go. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to make me go to my room, my reptile room. You don't. I'm here. Like, no matter what you tell me to go or not, I'm already here. That's what I meant by, like, if you talk about what obsesses my life, as far as like what burns my passion to the fucking core, other than my family, is my reptiles. And so that's maybe how I took his list. But maybe he just meant priorities in life in general. And in order to get to the reptiles and to do it right. Yeah. And you know what? He has to burn that off. He has to have that didn't he
flow
say
state.
He was the coach too, though? Did he say he's a swimming coach, or did he not say that? Did he say he?
Well, yeah. And I mean that also, I'm sure it's very fulfilling. I'm sure that it makes you feel like you're, making a difference and you're helping kids be more athletic. And, I think that, both things can be true, no,
definitely. And honestly, like, because I've always liked Dylan's work. I like how he does his thing. I'm more likely on that. I believe more what you just said versus what my first assumption was, the way I heard it. Because he, obviously Dylan looks like he stays in shape, like he's fit, and swimming has always been part of his life. And I told you, today's a big day for me because I'm taking Leo to the Supercross. And before reptiles became what it was to me now, Supercross was my fucking, I ate, slept, and shit Supercross. It was everything I did when I was a kid. So very, very important to me. But then again, now I'm old and I don't ride and I don't race. And so, but I still love it. And now my obsession is just all reptiles. So totally understand. Again, and remember, I told you, I was just quoting what he said. I didn't mean specifically like him also. I made that very clear. Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I just meant, like, in general, how many people really love this shit, even though they're making it seem like it's their number one thing in life. Like, perception's everything, right? Like, the way you lay it out, people are just going to assume what it is, but is it really? Like, let's dig through the layers. That's what I meant by that, And again, I hope, if Dylan listens to this, hope he didn't take any offense to that, because try to be very clear. Like, I'm just making his quotes, what he said, something that made me think about others that are in the hobby. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And ones who are trying to pursue the podcasting thing. And because that's what people see, what works for others, and they want to try it and they want to do it. And that's totally fine. But then again, like, I'm just somebody where if you're going to do something, you better really do it. And you better be about that. Like, you better really be about that life. That's just my personality. Not everyone's like that. That's me. That's just
Yeah.
me. Okay, that's it, guys. And again, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, dude. Not everyone likes MJ, and I get it. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. I really don't, because I'm doing me. Everything right here wasn't based off likability. Just so you know, it wasn't. It was based off hard work and consistency, and that's it. And that's something I'm never going to stop doing. I'm never going to start my hard work, and I'm never going to stop being consistent. It's always going to be a part of my game plan.
And I think that's so important, is marching to the beat of your own drum and not imitating what other people are doing, because you think that will lead to success. You know, the only, you know, it's like, I like talking to people, and that's why I do what I do. And that's why my podcast is generally one-on-one, because I feel like I can make more of a connection and, you know, things like that. Like that's my drum. That's what I'm marching to, you know, and that's, if everybody hated it and the show crashes, then I'll give it up, you know, but I'm not going to give up. Like you said, I'm not going to give up my animals. I'm still going to have my animals and everything.
Yeah.
You know, but it's.
Yeah. And also too, I want to be very clear. Like, I know my personality isn't for everybody. So I started my podcast thinking everyone was going to hate it. And it didn't stop me. Like, I was okay. Cause guess what? I knew I had the names that I wanted on I knew the people I wanted to interview fucked with me. Okay. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the people in the crowd. Okay. The people in the stands, how they felt. I know the people I'm bringing on fucked with me. That's why I had the resume I have with how many people I've had on. They all fuck with me. So again, I can't control how people feel about me, over, especially the ones who have no idea who I am, as far as like meeting me. They never met me. I think feel however you want to feel, dude. Whatever helps you. Okay. It just doesn't affect me. It doesn't, because I'm so locked in with what I do. You know, the relationships I have with some of the biggest names in this hobby. And some of these people are like family to me. And so, and even you, Adam, like, yeah, we never really hung out that much in person. Wait, we've met once, haven't we? Haven't we met?
No,
once?
Not yet.
Damn, I feel like we met. But like, okay, here's a good example. I already feel like we're like that close. Like, I feel like we've met already multiple times in person. We've already hung out. And when you meet like-minded people, you really, really kind of latch on to those people, and you grow with those people. And there's just so, as much as we could kind of go down the whole fucking, we could do this whole podcast about how many negative people out there. They're not all negative. Okay. First and foremost, you just got to focus on the ones who are like-minded, like yourself. Okay. And you hold on to those people, and doing that, keeping your circle like that, dude, you grow quick in this hobby. You really do. And I'm sure you can attest to that, because I see the people you like to associate yourself with, and they're some of the best people in the hobby. So there you go.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, you and I are very different people, but we have so much in common, you know, like that's the cool thing is that I think that's like the best thing about this hobby, is like how different everybody is, but what we are unified on is the reptiles. Yeah. And keeping them well, and you know, like that's
friendships. Like a lot of us do value good friendships out there. You know what I'm saying? Because again, man, it's hard to good. I don't want to say it's hard, but man, finding good people you could really rely on in this world is not easy. It's really difficult, you know? So when you come to a world like the reptile world, and you meet people that you would have never met, that are on the other side of the country, you know, have professions that you're like, what? Fuck, you did what before? Or all sorts of stuff, man. You would have never met these people. And then these people who had so many different ventures than you have, who are very highly successful, they will impact your life more than you'll ever know. And so, you know, I was just in search of a reason of why I should be a good person, and Reptile World helped me, dude. And again, I'm not the person I want to be yet, but I'm working on it. And that's all because of the reptiles and the people I met in the reptile world. I met some of the best people in the reptile world, man. And then one of my dearest friends, I call him as one of my mentors, Mark Bailey, who's a 40-year full-time reptile keeper veteran, more than 40 years at this point, man. Like, he's seen so many, and I have his guidance. Like, I've talked to him for like the last 5 years, like a best friend, dude. He's helped me so much. And so having friendships like that are so invaluable, dude. Like, you can't put a price on that. You really can't. And he's one of many other relationships I have like that. Like, dude, the reptile world is a beautiful fucking place, dude, because of the people.
Do you think that mentorship is the best way to get around, or like to avoid gatekeeping, like finding your mentor and learning from somebody that you have a personal relationship with, rather than going up to somebody that is an expert on something and just saying, hey, tell me how you did X, Y, and Z, because I want to do the same thing. Is it important to have that personal relationship built up? And then
I think it's,
you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. So I think it's important to have somebody to look up to see how they do things and take it all for consideration. But it doesn't mean you should do the exact same thing they did. I'll tell you that much, because I've had many mentors like I do now. I'll tell you the first one, man. The first one to really give it, and I love him to death, man. Another like family member of mine. I look at him as family, is Socrates. Okay. So Socrates was the first person to ever sit on the phone with me and tell me everything he did step by step to breed. Like I couldn't believe it. You know, he sent me a video clip of his first clutch in 2009 or 2010. And I was like looking at it, and he was like, I'm like, dude, this guy really wants to help me. And I was like, that's crazy. And mind you, I was already in the hobby for 3.5 years or so. Forrest had already passed away, and I never got any kind of information like this ever. And so, and again, this was probably about my first year of breeding chondros. I was getting this information. What do you think happened 4 years after all that information Saw gave me? I don't know. I still failed my fucking ass off, dude. Okay. Until 2025, no, 2024 is when I finally got my taste of glory of a full clutch coming out of the egg, and they're there, right? But even with Sock spending hours with me on the phone, give me all that advice, it still took me a handful of years to really get it figured out. Because guess what? I was getting his advice, and then I'd go to Bill Stiegel, and then I'd go to Gary Schiavino, and then I'd go to Marshall. And so, and what's crazy is you'd go to Socrates and go to Gary, and Gary's like, I don't do that. I do something completely opposite. And you go, what the fuck? And then you go to Bill, and Bill's like, I do something similar to Gary, but not like Sock, or vice versa. So next thing you know, you have all different information out there, dude. And one of the things that I was doing is like, I would go one direction, and I would set it, right? And then I would find out someone else did something different. So on the next time around, I would change it. So I was constantly changing shit. And it's like, how are you ever going to figure it out if you're just always adjusting things? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or fucking with things when you shouldn't have. And I learned that the hard way. Like, I had to learn. So yeah, dude, mentorship is very vital, because you're going to see things people have done firsthand. Like, I got to say, man, some of the people that love Bill Stiegel the most are people who've been invited to Bill Stiegel's house to watch him feed snakes, like just to watch him feed or watch a clutch. Like, and Bill's awesome for that. Bill loves, he's not going to invite everyone, but if you're in his area and you're cool with him, he'll have you come over and watch him feed snakes. Like, that shit right there, that is very, especially in the chondro world, when you see it happening in front of your face, it brings a sense of confidence that just drives you to the next level. And so, and that's everything. Like, having, like, if you're into geckos, if you're into breeding monitors, there's so many great individuals in each and one of these departments that you could introduce yourself to. Because we don't carry yourself higher. Like, here's the thing, as much as people come in and go, oh my God, like, dude, we're just normal people, man. Like, we're just people who love reptiles, and our reptiles are the real stars, but they can't talk. But you could talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you could approach a Ryan Young. You could approach a Bill Stiegel. You could approach a Gary. Dude, they're all very nice on social media, man. Like, just reach out. You might not get a response as quick as with some others, but Bill has helped so many people out. I've helped so many people out. Even though I was just going on a rant saying I don't like to give all my information out. Dude, people, someone please in the comments drop right now, like, yes, MJ's talked to me on the phone. I hope somebody says something. But I have spent so much time on the phone myself helping people out. Because, like, again, it was kind of like, once I saw how you were, Adam, and the guests you were bringing on and like your style, I wanted to be a part of that. I was like, dude, yes, this dude's really putting effort into the episodes he's doing. He's legit trying to learn. And that's like, dude, that makes me want to go back to learning again versus just being a talky fucking head on Trap Talk. Like, I want to be able to be like the one who's just a student again. And that's why I enforced the new series that I'm doing with Ryan Young and Patrick Holmes about locality. We're diving in on the subspecies of green tree pythons. Like each one, we're going down the row and we're dissecting why localities are a part of that subspecies and why they look the way they look. And for me, I want to know that. I really do. And so it sparks a whole new excitement of what I'm doing, makes it feel brand new again. And yeah, I don't know where else I was going with that, but
yeah, man, no, it is. I think that's so important. I think it is. You can get a vibe from somebody, and maybe I'm more patient because I have less inputs than you have. So if somebody comes to me and asks me the same question that they ask you, for me, I might just be like, hey, like I might be more patient and just, hey, you gotta figure this out. Like you need to figure out why you want to do something like this or accomplish a task like this. Like what is the driving factor, and
yeah, what's your motive?
Yeah, exactly. It's
yeah. And with us, dude, Adam, it all started off wanting to learn. That's why we both started our podcast, because we were fucking idiots and we still are idiots. Like we just want to learn from the best. And then also one thing that I did, because not a lot of people were doing it at that time, we're bringing on the biggest names, but now that's a played out thing. You did a good job at finding names that aren't even getting put out there yet, or like names that aren't getting put out enough, which I feel like are super important, because you've tapped into some people where I'm like, dude, why haven't I had that guy on the show yet? Like, what? And so you are doing a lot of necessary episodes that are going to really help this hobby in the long run, dude. You know what I mean? And that's why I always tell you, like, fuck the views, and whatever it is that YouTube wants you to pay attention to. In our world, it doesn't matter. As long as it reaches somebody, dude, it's gonna help them out. You know what I'm saying? And you've been doing exactly that, dude. So good on you.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like I'm a year and a half into doing the podcast, haven't missed a week. This is episode 111.
Props.
And it's just, it was crazy when like Adam Wickens hit me up and he's like, dude, I love your show. Keep it up. And I'm like, if you would have told me a year and a half ago that I would be talking to Adam Wickens on my podcast, I would have been like, get out of here. Like, you're crazy, or that he listens to the show. Right. Or,
oh yeah.
Or having Kara Norris on and talk about like bringing the reptiles into New York City to bring him on the Conan O'Brien show for Steve Irwin when he would come to New York. Like,
pretty dope.
I never could have imagined that, and my wife is the one that I'll talk to my wife on my way home from work at night and I'll say, baby, I can't believe that like these people are talking to me. I can't believe that I'm doing this. I'm having these people on the show. And she's like, she goes, I knew it would play out like this.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, well, I'm glad one of us knew, because I had no idea. And like Kush, when I went on Kush's show and he told me I'm good at interviewing people, I never even thought that I am.
No, you are, dude.
That's what's so crazy to me.
And you got your own style too, which is great. Like it's not it just doesn't sound like anyone else's. Like that's that right there shows you were meant to do this. And also too, man, like I thought the same thing. I'll never forget, like there were some people out there, I'm like, I don't want to ask them, dude, like, fuck, like I'm going to look like an idiot, but they were so quick to do it. Like Barczyk. I'll never forget when Barczyk was like, he was like wanting to come back on again. I'm like, what? And because why? Because he saw how much I love this shit. He's like, MJ, I see like you're fired up. And like, that's what he's not seeing enough of that is what he's saying. So when he sees that, he invests in it. And that's, luckily me being the way I am, even though it does rub some people the wrong way, it got me so close to Barczyk, which I'll take none of that back. Are you kidding me? I'm so glad I am the way I am, because I'm also changing, and being the way I am is making me realize areas I don't want to continue to be the same. I want to change. And so, dude, I think so many people are down to do your show because they see what you're doing and they see that your questions are good. Like, dude, some of these people, what I hear all the time is like, MJ, I try to support this podcast, but God dang, man, their questions are just like, it's almost so fucking vanilla and just like like, where did you copy these questions from? Like not even chat GPT shit, like almost like a level, 3 levels below that. And it's like, dude, put a little effort into it. But again, how can you expect people's effort to be like ours when they don't keep animals? Or they don't, if they don't keep shit that we keep, like you're continuing to expand, you're continuing to work with species that interest you. Some of these people, what are they doing that? No, that's why their questions suck. That's why their questions are so flat and just like, what is this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, are you trying to get a certain guest on because it's like a Pokemon card that you're chasing down or something? Yeah. Or do you legitimately have an interest in this person and what they're doing and why they're doing it, and their level of passion? Has it attracted you and brought you into a point where you're just like enthralled with their passion? You know, like it's contagious. Do you have that ability to contract that passion, or are you just saying like, yeah, I got this person on, so you know, we're gonna talk, like they keep X, Y, and Z, and we're gonna talk about it, you know?
Yeah. Man.
How long have you been podcasting?
So 2019. So this would be
crazy.
That'd be my 7th year. But Trap Talk was birthed in 2020. My first episode was the end of 2019. So this will be year 7.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
And I bet it's just flown by, right?
Big time. Oh my God. It's dude, I get like, I'm somebody who I try to keep certain shirts I like for as long as I can. Like I like stuff that reminds me of a certain time of like, damn, I remember that shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there's episodes out there that really hit me like that. And what really hits me is like, you know, I'm not saying I look older or old now, but I just see a younger MJ where I'm like, man, look at that guy, dude. Like clueless as fuck. But and here's the thing, I knew I was clueless and I was so excited to be a part of it. Like I didn't care. Like, even though I'm like, you know what, you're fucking just running your mouth, but you're keeping it real about it. Meaning like you're telling people I'm not an expert. Like I'm just here to fuck up and learn. And I was always about that. That's why people also, the ones who really fuck with me, know how open I am about all my failures, dude. Like very open. I put videos out of me crying on my blog before. You know what I'm saying? Just because I felt like, dude, people should see how much this truly means to me. And again, like I just feel like being authentic is what this hobby needs from everybody. Like I know there's a certain time and place. If you need to put on a character for whatever, that's fine. But always like be true to yourself. And again, man, being true to yourself is the best thing you could do, because I mean, you don't have to worry about anything. You're not faking it, you know? And I just don't know any other life versus being authentic. I really don't. But yeah, dude, it flew by, man. And it's crazy. I almost don't want to blink, because next thing you know, it's gonna be another 7 years, and Leo's gonna be well into elementary school and all this other shit. And so, yeah, dude, it's crazy, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, Junior's going into he's going into middle school next year. This year, he's going into middle school this year.
Puberty, bro. How do you feel about that?
Oh God, dude,
that's craronzy.
It is. It's really wild.
I was making out with chicks in 7th grade, like in the stalls and stuff like that. Like I just hope my kid wasn't like me.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, you know what's really wild is having kids, how difficult it is when you want kids.
Yeah.
You know, and like, my heart goes out to people that have kids and they didn't want to have kids. Like that is like a wild kind of thing, you know, like I wanted kids and it's difficult. And saying it's difficult doesn't mean I don't want it, you know, but holy crap, dude, there's days where it's so hard. And I think that applies to most things. Sometimes it's really hard doing a podcast. Sometimes it's really hard having a bunch of reptiles. Sometimes it's really hard having all these things, but you want them, right? Yeah. Imagine not wanting that and having that circumstance. It's, you know, it's like that's like that, man, I have to like beat that into my kids. Like, hey, like it's hard having kids when you really want kids, you know, but
do you hear what you're saying right now, bro? hard is in every sentence you're saying right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So regardless if you're not trying to do hard things or you are, you're going to do them. Like doing hard shit is a part of life. So the people out there who do everything they can to avoid doing difficult stuff, the ones who don't work out, the ones that want to just eat and stay at home, you know what's going to happen to you, dude? Something very difficult and hard is going to happen to you, like a fucking illness. Okay. Or something where, guess what? You probably wish you would have had harder things happen to you in life because you would know how to deal with this. When you deal with a lot of hard things, you're able to deal with life. Okay. If you avoid hard things, you're not going to be able to deal with life. And that's what the fucked up part of this generation is. They're taught to avoid hard things. Like,
I don't think it's this generation. I think it is a human thing to avoid difficult things. That's why we have all the things.
Yeah. Well, what I mean just the day and age. Okay?
Yeah.
The day and age is to avoid difficult things. And we were taught that. Like, we were like, they would instill like, go the safe route or do the comfortable thing or, like don't avoid any kind of discomfort. But dude, no, fuck that. Discomfort is your friend. I swear to God, the more you put yourself in discomforting positions, your life becomes so much more easier. That's why I fucking work out so much. Cause it's not easy. Sometimes I don't want to do it, but I've never regretted going to the gym. I've never regretted it. When I'm leaving, I've never said, fuck, I should have stayed home and ate Cheetos, or I should have stayed home and just talked shit on my phone. No, dude, I'm so happy I went to the gym. Always, dude, always. And that's what people out there need to realize. Just because you don't feel like doing something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And that means you should really do it, especially if you know it helps you. And so, man, I think.
Well, I mean, that's human nature, though. Everything we have is inventions that were created to make our lives easier. We have air conditioning, we have block houses, we have cars to get to work, to get to where we're going, right? Because nobody wants to walk 10 miles to go get groceries. You know, like everything we have to make our lives easier. But at a certain point, your life is so easy that you're starting to lack purpose, and you don't. You're like a rudderless ship. You don't know what direction you're supposed to be going in.
Yeah. And again, man, my heart goes out to those people who don't see it. It's like, but some do, but some don't. Like I see some older individuals in this hobby where I'm like, God damn, you're so miserable. I wonder why. I'm like, you never got it. You never saw it. You never saw the big picture. And again, I just hit 40, dude, in August. So I got it. It was enough for me. And I got lab works done. I saw some shit that I was needing to see to change my diet. And that's what really kicked me into drive. But again, some people don't even check until they're 60. Some people don't even check at all. It just happens. And that's crazy to me, man. Like you don't know what the fuck's going in your body. Even though you might feel good, even though you're okay to deal with like headaches at a certain point in your day, even though you have to take naps and you think you feel good, you probably should get yourself checked out.
All right, don't stop freaking me out. I have OCD. I haven't had my blood work done since 2023.
I'm just letting you know, man. Because, dude, ever since I got it, ever since I looked into it, it was scary, but I made adjustments, and dude, I am fucking great right now. I feel amazing. I feel like how I didn't feel this good when I was 30. I swear to God. Like when I was 30, I was like already, because I was partying so much and not working out is the way I should have been. I was all fucked up. My stomach was fucked up. But man, I'm so fucking brand new right now, and it feels great, dude. It really does. So,
dude, we went out for our anniversary dinner. Our anniversary is December 31st.
Congrats.
And awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we've been married 11 years, and
it's beautiful.
We went out to dinner, and we took the kids for the first time because it was like we didn't think far enough ahead that it would be really difficult to get a sitter on New Year's Eve. So like. We didn't think about that, because we didn't have kids at the time. And, but dude, it was the best experience. It was so awesome going out to dinner with the boys. We went to a steakhouse. We all had steak while Ben had a burger, but like it was an hour and 15-minute wait, and we got our table, and it was so much fun. And we did it as a family. And, man, like that's what we are. We're a family, and sometimes, the kids are going to be there, even though it's like, it was our anniversary dinner and we went as a family, and it was just as great as if it was just me and my wife by ourselves, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's a trip, man.
It is. So I want to ask you, what are some of your takeaways from having Dr. Tillis on?
Whoa, dude, I'm glad you brought that up. Hey, that guy is fucking awesome, man.
He is.
It's crazy because I probably watched your guys' episode like 3 times.
Did you really?
Yeah, I love that episode. I'm telling you, man, I really like Nido has always been just something I've always seeked information on. And again, you could always talk to someone who's had it, but who's really put in the research in, right? And then here we have Dr. Tillis, the fucking man. So yeah, love that episode you guys had. And what's crazy is like I asked him a question that he thoroughly explained on your episode. And he was saying like, it was like, you know, how he got into it, how it was a unique position for him to go from keeper to fucking goddamn PhD. Right. So in a sense, I almost regretted it because I'm like, damn it, dude, he's literally, I felt like I almost fucked up asking him a repetitive question that you had already asked him, but I had to snap myself out of it and be like, yo, that was on Adam's podcast, bro. Like that wasn't on yours. Like this is okay. Because I watched your guys' episode so much where I thought I was on it. Like wow. It almost felt like I was a part of that episode. So I almost was like, dude, you asked the same question that you already asked on the other show. But I'm like, wait a minute, you weren't on that show. And that wasn't on Trap Talk. So I was like, so my face kind of goes from like, God dang it, to like, oh, wait a minute. And I get all like, literally you can see it in my face. I'm like, damn. And then I'm like, oh shit, no. Yeah. And so anyways, that was interesting. And so, but yeah, man, what a guy, dude. So it was awesome, bro. It was cool because I had so many questions. I've been wanting to ask this guy for so long. And again, there's nowhere, we didn't get everything on the first part. That's why I made it a multi-part series. I want to invite you on one. I think it'd be cool if you were on the next one or something.
I'm down, man.
Yeah, but it was great, man. It was everything I expected. And that was confusion. It was fucking uncertainty, confusion, the whole safety balloon that you have, that your collection's Nido free. Pop, nope, sorry, wrong. Yep. And that's everything I wanted to hear because that's the truth, dude. Like, people are coming into this game, getting Nido test animals and are gloating around saying their collection's Nido free. That's the only test they ever. No, dude, snap out of it. Okay. I'm not saying you do have Nido, but if you're not testing, okay, you still, even if you are, you can't say you don't have Nido because of so many situations out there that I've been in. Dr. Tillis has been in, Patrick Holmes, Brian Fisher. Like, there's so many people I can name that could tell you, dude, Nido is so complicated and it is not something we could just say we figured it out. You know what I'm saying? He hinted that they're working on something that has to do with some heating methods, which I always told him, like, with my experience, if a snake had RI or something, you put him in the incubator and in 2-3 days, it normally heals up. When it came to emeralds, because I never only really dealt with that till emeralds, and like my breeder males after breeding, they just get, I guess their immune system goes down or something, but something happens and throw them in the incubator at 88, 90 degrees, 3 days, it heals. They usually go into shed and it's gone. And with chondros, right, I had maybe 2 chondros do that, tested them both for Nido, came back clean. But again, we said on that show that, and I use Rao, I only use Rao. Rao only tests for one fucking strain of Nido. And the strains of Nido are endless. They're huge. They're humongous.
Yeah, I think for carpet pythons or for Morelia complex, there's like 70 strains that have been mapped out.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's crazy.
So again, man, like, yeah, do your biosecurity. Be careful, but don't try to put a badge on your fucking vest that you're Mr. Nido Clean collection when you can't really say that, you know, especially if you have dipped your hands in many other people's collections that you now have in your collection. Now, mind you, a lot of people start from babies, and dude, props to you. Start with babies. You're going to be fine. I really do feel like you have nothing to worry about as long as you're not bringing older stuff in and you're mixing all that in, dude. Start with babies and you're fine. But you know, not a lot, but some of these guys just didn't do that. And so, and their animals are fine. And so, and that's cool, but just don't think you're in a position where you could ever sell that animal and guarantee Nido clean. No, dude. Sorry.
Dude, are you going to Daytona?
August. I want to say yes. I think
it'd be cool to meet you there, bro.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to be able to do Daytona this year. I didn't do it last year because of the baby. But this year, yeah, it's on, bro. Yeah, I'm doing Daytona this year. So once May hits, I'm going to go do a couple trips in May. Then I have Trap Fest in May as well. And then And then
am I invited, MJ?
Yeah, bro. Dude, I told you last year to cruise the Trap Fest.
I know.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
It's so far away.
It is far away, yeah. So, and
can you get Morph Market to ship me out?
In a box, maybe.
Yeah, overnight me.
I don't know. Listen, Adam, I kind of handpick some people I like to fly out. So maybe if you have the time, maybe I'll fly you out.
Dude, that would be bananas.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that for you, buddy. But yeah.
What a baller move. What a flex, bro.
No, honestly, bro, because people like you at Trap Fest, it means something to me because you're going to be a part of this for the long run. So you being around all these people, it helps. It helps everything that I'm trying to do and bring the best people together. I just try to bring the best people together, and there's so many different conversations flowing at Trap Fest, different tables, different areas. If you want to do shotguns in the corner, then with Lucas, go ahead, dude. Fucking go do some shotgun so over there. Or if you want to DJ some music where I'm at, go ahead and spin some music. Whatever you want to do, man. It's just a chill vibe, but it's all about the people, you know?
What is a shotguns?
Actually it's a beer funnel. So they
oh geez.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, no, I don't listen, I don't drink, but if you want to get down, go ahead. It's all there. Do your thing. But
yeah. Oh, dude, that I haven't drank this year. I haven't drank this year at all. Like we went out to our anniversary dinner and I didn't have a drink then. And I was like, I'm gonna be sober this year.
Try it. I mean, I'm just like, listen, I promised myself, let's do a year, no alcohol. And if a year goes by, I'm not anti-alcohol. Like as far as like, oh, I judge you for, no, if it does something for you, go ahead, dude. I smoke weed. Not everyone likes weed. So it does something for me. Well, at least I think it does. So I do it. And some people who enjoy drinking, if you enjoy it, go ahead. I just wasn't enjoying it. Like it got to the point where it was fucking me up. And so, and then again, I have an addicted personality. So I'll continue to do something even though it's fucking me up. And I don't even almost don't snap out of it, And so alcohol was just that vice for me. I always felt like I needed it in my life because, my boys drink, everyone family drinks. So who cares? But really, was it doing anything for me? It wasn't.
No,
it wasn't doing shit for me. Only making my days worse the next day, mentally making me depressed because I would drink so much where I would wake up depressed the next day. So it was kind of.
You know why that is? You're literally borrowing dopamine from the future. You're making your body
just doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're dumping your body with dopamine, and then when that wears off and you crash, you don't have any left. And yeah, dude, I'm in the same boat. Like I was trying to be like mindfully drinking, okay, yeah, I'll have a glass of wine and then be like, how do I feel afterwards? I feel like shit. I feel like shit the next morning. This isn't worth it.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I have one and I'm like, I want another one. And I want another one. And so it always starts with me just like, all right, I'm going to have a glass tonight. And then next thing you know, I'm like, the fuck is that glass even doing to me? I need 2 glasses. And then I'm like, God damn it, that was so good. I need 2 more glasses. And then next thing you know, I'm throwing down a bottle and it's nothing. And so, and then I think it's okay. I'm like, oh, I'm good, And then, but again, looking at my diet then, my weights, all that, bro, and how drinking and working out just doesn't go hand in hand. Like it just, if you really want to elevate your fitness game, if you want changes from your body, alcohol is the worst thing to have in the mix. It really, especially on a day-to-day basis, drinking alcohol every day, right? But again, to each their own. Again, you could drink at Trap Fest. Alcohol is available. I'm smoking. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, come, dude. We'll figure it out. Talk to you about
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, alcohol kills 178,000 people a year.
It's crazy. And it's not even a topic really. Like, it's like, oh, we're worried about all this other shit. And here's alcohol just fucking destroying people. Like it's crazy to me how delusional like Americans are to what alcohol actually does to people. Like, and it's like, and again, coming from Hispanic culture where they let their kids drink at 18 and shit like that. And I see that now and I'm like, yeah, that won't be Leo. I'm sorry. Like he can fucking wait till he's 21. And if he likes it, good for you. But if that's it, like, I'm not like, I'm not going to teach him that's the fucking normal thing is to be a drinker. That's the stupidest fucking thing. I feel like I really do.
Oh, I remember my dad was like, yeah, the first time you drink, you can drink as much as you want and you'll do it right here at the house. And he let me get like wasted. I think I was like 18.
Oh.
And I remember just having the spins and feeling absolutely terrible. And
he's like, yep. How you feel, son?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I felt terrible for like 2 days after that.
Yeah. At 8.
And I went back. I went right
back. Oh, dude. Yeah. And again, man, like to each their own, dude. You know, I gotta, you see some legend fucking people out there like John Daly, like, okay, somebody who is fucking in his 70s is drinking whiskey still. And it's like, and I feel like some of those people look up to that and they're like, yeah, like that's what you could do. And again, like, I don't know how that guy feels. I don't, and if he's somebody where it makes him feel good and he wakes up no issues, it seems like he loves it. So, and if that's you, okay, go ahead, man. Like I just know even now in 2026, if you don't drink alcohol and if you do healthy things, you could live a lot longer nowadays. You really can.
So much longer.
You could, yeah. You don't have to call it quits at 70 or 80. And that's also what kind of, because also I'm in my head, I'm like, damn, I'm almost 30 years away from 70 and that's when it's over. No, it's not. Not if you really fucking care about your health. And also you can't determine what could happen to you. I mean, you could get hit by a fucking car. I get it. Like, or something unfortunate could come into your system or something. I don't know, dude. But then again, I'm just doing my best to be my best in life. That's it. And also I want to chase this good feeling, like this feeling good I feel without having to drink or party or do anything else. Dude, I love this. I love that I wake up every morning that I do. I go to bed early and I'm okay. I love going to bed early, dude. Like some people have to force themselves to go to bed. Not me, dude. I can't wait till it's bedtime. And then I crash out like a fucking champ and I'm up and I'm doing all over again. So I've been on such a good rhythm now. It's like, dude, why would I want to drink again? Like I don't, even when I get to that year mark, I don't think I'm ever going to drink. I really don't. I don't. Cause I know what that glass tastes like. I know what that shot tastes like. I know what the taste, but what does it do for me afterwards?
Yeah.
Doesn't do shit.
Yeah. And that, the longer I stay away from it, the better I feel. And then as soon as I have it, you come down from that one drink 2-3 hours later and you're just this like the worst version of yourself.
Yeah. Negative. You're just not, you're just like, fuck, I need another drink. And that's why people stay drinking. Cause you stay drinking, you don't feel like that. You avoid it.
Yeah.
So, and again, man, it's not a place to be for me. I'm good. I'm so locked in with what I'm doing. And yeah, again, do your thing, man. Whatever makes you feel good, or at least if you think it, go ahead. But pay attention to the signs. That's all I got to say.
Dude, so we're in a new year. Mm-hmm. What are your biggest lessons learned from 2025?
Well, definitely like just overthinking is just not something that's never helped me out. And I overthought a lot of the establishment of the baby chondros. And I put a lot of like unnecessary stress of like, how am I going to do this?
How so? Can you give me some examples?
Well, just because, I had so many people like, MJ, you're going to have how many clutches? Where are you going to put all the babies? And like, I had plans, but like, I got so many people, not that they were intentionally doubting me, but like almost telling me like, well, how are you going to pull this off? Like, and then, Bill will joke around like, MJ, I guarantee you're going to start drinking again once you start. And I'm like, oh, great. And so I just was very like, first and foremost, I didn't want to fail. Like I felt so much where I'm like, dude, there's no failing now. Like I need to fucking figure this out. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, but I was also confident. But there was nights I wasn't sleeping. There was nights I was waking up super early, which helped. But man, it kind of weared me out. Like it wore me out to where, it fucked with my mood a lot. But yeah, again, it was just kind of part of learning. How are you going to know until you're put in that position? So that's what I learned. I learned if I have 100 fucking babies I need to establish, it's going to be all right. You'll figure it out. Just keep showing up. Be consistent and don't listen to other people too. Again, everyone, and not that they were doing it on purpose, but I listen too much to what people are telling me sometimes. And that's why I overthink. Like sometimes if you're telling me something in a DM, like if you write something, I'll read it so many times where I like, it's not what it's portraying to be. And then I'm like, what the fuck, And so again, like overthinking has just been something I've been doing too much of in 2025 as far as like, anything. And so I'm just more trusting the process at this point. Listening to like not only my body, but what I need to be doing, like working out, just staying consistent with my schedule, and that's it. I know, just kind of not overthinking. I think that's going to be my biggest thing for 2026.
Did you ever run into any prolapses, and like were you able to handle them, or did you lose animals?
So I ended up getting so out of the 70, I got 3 prolapses, which really isn't that bad.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, one prolapse came out of fucking nowhere. It was like, it wasn't a feeding thing. It was just a prolapse, and it was really weird the way it happened. And it just something where it just wouldn't go back in. So I already had a feeling the snake's not gonna make it. Then I had 2 other ones that prolapsed due to my room drying out so bad because I went to the World Series Dodger game with my dad, and it was spontaneous. And so when we left early that day, I didn't fill my humidifiers up. I just took off. And then I didn't come back late that night, and I was so tired, and the humidifier thing didn't sink in until the next morning. And I go into my room, it's like 20% humidity. I'm like, oh shit. And all these fuckers had full stomachs. So I'm going every each tub, and I'm like, oh no, no, no. And then I'm like looking, and then I finally get down to the designer shit, and 2 fucking prolapses. And I'm like, oh, fucking God. And sure enough, they just had shit stuck in their ass, and they couldn't get it out. And so those 2 ended up passing away. And that I put one of them just down not too long ago. Like it ate again and went 3 meals, no prolapse. And then the 4th meal prolapsed. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So, but that's not bad, bro. Honestly, another thing that was weighing heavy on my head was like, okay, I'm not worried about feeding these things. I'm worried about 70 prolapses. Like, I'm so scared to have to go on Trap Talk and be like, hey guys, so I'm down to 10, 60 fucking prolapse. Like I was so worried about that, dude. I really was. And so again, I don't want to say I think I figured out the prolapse issue, because I think it could still happen, man. A bad meal or bad, situation could still make your snake prolapse. I would really only dedicate only one prolapse being to something that wasn't because of me. The other 2, I feel like it was because my room dried out. I really do. So I think if I was on top of it, I would only have one prolapse. And I will have to say, I forgot there was a 4th. So my buddy Juan, Life's Rad Chondros, he doesn't live too far from me. I gave him about 4 problematic feeders. I had feeders that were like, they're giving me a run for my money. So I put him in his collection, and he was getting him to eat. And then he actually had one end up prolapsing and dying on his hands as well. So I guess 4. We'll say 4 out of the 70, which again, I'm not mad at that at all. I remember telling you I was hoping I got 0. Remember I had 0, and I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, like literally right after that is when all this shit went down. So go figure, shut your mouth next time. But yeah.
I mean, still, that's only 5%.
Yeah, I'm not, again, I'm not upset, dude. I have 35 fucking holdbacks, dude. That's a lot. And I sold 30. So it's like, and mind you, I can't, theoretically in a year or 2, I can't have all those. I'll start putting them in other people's hands, but I get to enjoy watching them change. I get to enjoy growing them up, seeing which ones I really, really want to keep. And that's it, So yeah, I'm not complaining, dude. Not complaining, and definitely not changing a fucking thing this year. Everything I've been doing is exactly the same, and that's it.
And you got you still have the ball pythons?
Yeah, I do, man. So I had a thing in the works. Not that it isn't still going to go down, but the communication between me and the individual hasn't been where I want it to be, and I just don't feel comfortable right now. Like, I don't want any communication discrepancies at all. Like, I want to be able to get a hold of you, especially if I'm giving you all my fucking ball pythons. And so I need to work that out with that individual. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm prepared to keep the ball pythons, but they're still here. I got some stuff paired up, and I think if that doesn't work out, which I'm pretty sure it's not, I'm okay with keeping them, dude. I know I've gone back and forth, but I don't see myself not having ball pythons. Like I'm going to do it, dude. I'm going to do it. So yeah, they're still here. I still got, they're good. And, got 2 clutches in the incubator right now. So yeah, man, shout out to the ball pythons, man. I'm so excited to be a part of the ball python still. My mood has definitely switched in 2026 as far as being on the fence. There's no longer being on the fence. I'm committed. Ball pythons, you're always going to be a part of my life, but we'll see what happens in 2027.
Got him for one more year.
Yeah. Again, I'm not in a position where I'm like, oh, they need to be gone. No, it'd be cool to have space, but I want them. So
How's the rodent breeding going?
Good, man. I mean, it's hard to keep up, mainly with the mediums and the smalls that I need because I just need more colonies. So I'm getting there. I have about, I don't know, I have about like 8 colonies of ASFs and six colonies of rats. But again, I'm feeding about 35 baby chondros and then 15 raise up other like sub adults, you know what I mean? So every 10 days I'm feeding fucking 100 goddamn of these ASFs, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot. And so it's like it's hard to keep up. Like they're good, but the older ones, like the ones that need the medium, like my ball pythons that need mediums and shit like that and smalls, they're the ones that like, hey dude, what about us? So every now and again I have to do a run to a homie and get some rodents. And just do like a fat re-up, but it's like every 2 months I have to do that. So it's working out. I just want to get to the point where I don't need to contact nobody. Like it's all me. But I'm getting there. Like dude, rodents aren't easy, man. Like it definitely puts a lot of methodical work. Like you got to have a plan and got to be on top of pulling stuff. And once you have a good system, it just goes. And so I feel like I finally have a good system now. And I definitely have that shed completely cleared out where there's just nothing but rat racks in there now. Cause I had other storage and shit in there. It was terrible. It was just making everything worse. And so I had to buy 2 more sheds for this house. So there's so I have 2 more sheds on that side of the house where we put all like our Christmas stuff, the holiday stuff, and like all my like, you know, the backyard tools and all that is all in there. And then the shed is just all for the rats now. So, which is great because, you know, it's less fucking clutter and dusty in there. It's just more of a like solely for the rats. So yeah, I think by summertime I'll be straight. I think summertime I'll be in the position where I'll probably look for someone to come buy some stuff because I have so much, hopefully. So, but they're going great, dude. I love not relying on rodents right now, other than my own that I make. So,
well, and knowing the quality of them too is like
dude.
huge.
I feed even my rats like romaine lettuce, eggs. So whatever I do for my ASFs, I do for my rats because I'm like, why? Let's be fair here. Now there is some sort of a kibble that I feed. I think it's coming back or something like that, or I forget the name, dude. Anyway, okay. It's not Missouri, it's the other one. So, but I love that I know what I'm putting into my rats, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that really matters, dude. I don't want to say names. I want to be very respectful, but there's some people out there who are like gathering groups who are getting rodents that are killing their animals. There's a group of like 12 people out there who are like almost ready to address this, I guess.
I've heard about those
with a certain company. And so, but this, from what I heard, this company's chapter 13 fucking about to go bankrupt. So it makes sense. And it's like, dude, you just never know out there. Like, how do you know
we'll talk about that off air. I want to get the name from you.
How do you know what company out there who is just about to go down and they don't give a fuck what they're giving you? And that's, dude, honestly, man, I'll crash out. Like if something kills one of my fucking emeralds or anything, because you know, but then again, like I don't just feed anything to my snakes. Like Bear, I'm smart about that. I know how to look at this. I know how to look at the prey item and see if it's even worth feeding off or not. But yeah, just be careful out there, guys, because a lot of people don't know. They just like, oh, that's who you use. I'll use them. And then next thing you know, their animal dies. And so, yeah, dude.
Well, and that's scary for guys like us, because if you talk about it on your podcast, even if you just say, yeah, I use X, Y, and Z, people might go use that company, and maybe you don't know that there's an issue. And then what if somebody loses an animal because you're saying that you use that company? Like that stuff scares me.
Dude, I've had sponsors where people are like, hey, dude, what's up with this? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's like, well, I just lost this many animals. And I'm like, I don't know. But then I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. It's terrible. And so, yeah, man, you just gotta be careful out there, guys. As much as I want to say every company is legit, they're not. Oh, they're not. So be careful. And a lot of them don't even breed their own rodents. It's all third party. It's all like they're middlemen. Like you're literally buying rodents from the middleman. They're not even from the actual producer themselves. So
yeah, they're just like Walmart.
And it sucks because I have people who are like, dude, I don't know who to buy rodents from. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't, it's tough. I don't know who to buy them from either. To be honest, because I don't trust no companies out there. I really don't.
What's the benefit of ASFs? Because I hear a lot about them. I've never fed them to my animals, but like, are you getting like better results with them?
From what I can tell, man, and I knew this with the ball pythons, is like, man, the way the bowel movements look compared to a rat and an ASF. And I can't say it's all the time, but man, a good portion of these big, huge, smeared shits that you get from feeding rats to ball pythons or to a chondro or even emerald, you don't get that when feeding ASFs. Like the poops are a lot smaller, but they're completely formed. They're like, it's like a good human shit, like a healthy human shit looks like, a completely formed shit. And so, in my eyes, I'm like, well, that looks a lot better. That has to feel better coming out. We all know what it's like to have fucking mud butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how you're feeling when that's an issue. It sucks. You're always like, oh my God. But when you don't, so that always stood out to me. People, I don't know. The thing was, people were saying in the ball python game, oh, you get better production numbers when you breed ASFs. I don't think that's true. But again, I don't really know. I just know you get a lot more healthier looking poops when feeding ASFs. So, and we already know with chondros, like, you have people that don't even feed rats, they only feed mice. I feel like, man, even though plenty of people have had success just feeding mice, like some of the biggest names, I feel like they need a little bit more than that, like a little bit. So ASF for me is the perfect happy medium overall prey item for a chondro. I don't think there's anything better from baby stage all the way to adults. Because all my babies, dude, minus a couple pain in the butts that didn't want ASFs, but they all took ASFs. And ASFs are born with hair on them. Like they're not born bare naked. They have a little bit of hair on them. So, and again, I think the structure, like the bone structure is a little bit more is more in an ASF on top of like the hair that you get. It's just, you're getting more out of the prey item versus feeding a hot pink or something like that. And again, people have so many people out there just use hot pinks and they've had success, and that's great. But I'm going based off what I'm seeing, the growth. Like, dude, my Neos are big, man, but they're healthy big. They're not like bloated big. Like they're just fucking, they just look great because they don't shit a lot. Like they shit, but it's not a lot of shit. It's just a rope. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. That means they're holding on to a lot of the stuff that they're eating. You don't want something just to come right out of an animal. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder if ASFs would make a difference with my indigos.
I don't know, man. Indigos are just, you got to think like what species we're talking about. Yeah. And indigos are like a retic when it comes to like what they eat. They'll fucking
eat. Their shit is wild.
Yeah. Well, that's colubrids for you. Colubrids are nasty. Colubrids just have nasty fucking shits. Like if you want the nastiest of the nastiest, own a false water cobra. You'll see.
That's why I went with an indigo. I was
disgusting.
I know. I was sitting there thinking, like, do I get a false water cobra or do I get an indigo? And I ultimately went with the indigos.
They could. Okay, false water could shit in their water dish and it makes the whole room smell like if they pissed on your carpet. Like it's crazy. Oh man, but they're cool. Don't get me wrong, man. Mine used to chase me around the room when I had food in my hands. Like I have an old video. I swear to God. That's how crazy they were, but they were just, man, they smelled so bad. And I just think that's something you can't avoid with certain species. There's certain boas that are like that. I can't remember what boa, but yeah, it just, some species you're always going to have some sort of like weird musky type of situation, which a lot of it is just themselves. But yeah, dude, I'm so, I wish I had bigger ASFs. The thing is, I don't always have adult ASFs to feed to my adult females. So then I have to compromise and, use a wean rat, which I feel like is okay. Is if you're giving a little bit of both, I don't think it's a bad thing. I really don't. And I feed my chondros smaller, more frequent meals during breeding. So right now they're all getting ASFs every like 10 days, 7 days or something like that. It's the bigger ones are hard to have available for the adults. But again, I make it work out. But yeah, dude, again, everyone's situation is different. Everything I talk about is based off my experience, what my eyes are seeing. Okay. This isn't Google information. This isn't, I talked to so-and-so on a podcast. No, dude, this is what's happening with me. So if you want to find out, then go find out, see what it does for you. I love ASFs, man. I think they're awesome. I really do.
Yeah. I really want to try some. Just I've heard a lot of good things, and I've watched a couple of your I usually, whenever I see you live on Instagram, I tune in, and I heard you talking about the ASFs, and that's what I wanted to see, like what difference you were seeing in those, because I definitely want to try them out.
Yeah, I've been paying close attention to the poops, and the poops is what's telling me the story here of why I believe the ASFs are great.
Yeah. How big is like the biggest ASF? Like what? How big is an adult? Like compared to like a rat?
Like a small rat.
Small rat.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said, the biggest it gets is like a full size small rat.
Right on.
Yeah, and it takes them a while to get to, not a long time, but it takes a time for them to get to that size, like 4 or 5 months at least. So rats get there quick. Rats will fucking get huge, really, really big. They'll breed within 3 months.
Wow.
But ASFs are a little bit longer.
Dude, I totally, we got derailed. When I was asking you if you're going to go to Daytona, if you go, we should try to go over to Tillis's facility together.
And Eugene Bissett's.
Yeah. Like how cool would that be?
100%. Oh, that
do a field trip.
That'd be so dope. Yeah. I would do that for sure.
Yeah. Cause I had the privilege of going to see Tillis at his facility before having him on.
Yeah.
And like having those conversations with him one-on-one privately about Serpento and collections and all that. Like it really, it made me like, dude, you got to come on the podcast. Like there's a lot to talk about. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, such a good dude. So, so smart. And yeah, his collection's insane.
Do you see I used all your pictures for the thumbnail? Appreciate that.
I did see that.
Great photos, by the way.
Yeah, that just cell phone pics, man.
Yeah.
I was
killer.
But yeah, they came out all right.
Yeah, super down for that, dude. We'll plan it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, man. Well, I guess we'll wrap up episode 111.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming back. This is your third time on, I think.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. And it was cool. Is like we talked so much, like, yeah, it was reptile related, but it was just like real talk, like just us talking. And again, I encourage anyone out there to just have a real conversation with people. It doesn't need to be so like cookie cutter question asked, like just have a conversation, and see where the conversation goes, because like I say, every time you come on my show, this ain't the only time we're going to have this episode. We're going to do this again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just keep it real. And so I felt like this was a really real, probably the realest episodes we've had out of all three of them. This was more of a real heart to heart, like man to man talk. And this was great. I think it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The last one was really good too. I mean, every time we talk about the fatherhood and all that, but it's and maybe that's like the thing too. Like if somebody's hitting you up on social media, maybe if you have a legit question and or you're experiencing a problem, like lead with that. Just be like, yo, dude, like I need, like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Instead of it just being like, hey, how are you today?
Yeah. I will say not everybody has the same approach. Some people like say, hey, MJ, dude, I know you're busy whenever you have a time. And that's like the best thing you could ever fucking start any conversation with is like, hey, dude, like, if you have a chance, can you check this out? And of course, like, yeah, dude, thank you for just, all I want is a little bit of decency, like a little bit of like, dude, whatever, say what you want to say. But when you have a time, can you check it out, please? It's not that hard, dude. Common courtesy is really not that difficult. And again, I feel like some people are more intimidated to approach me and they almost like fumble it, like without just like, hey, relax, just ask me. You know what I'm saying? But also like have a purpose behind what you're asking me. If it's super like, hey, how are you? And there's nothing behind it. I don't know, man. Ask again in 10 minutes. I don't know how I feel right now. Like, what are you talking about? I'm so busy. The only thing I want to respond is I'm busy. But that's a dickhead thing to say. So I just don't say anything at all. I'm just like, okay, let me know when you got your question. Like, I'll answer how I am after you ask the question. But again, dude,
so what are you
working on it? So we'll see.
Yeah, MJ is not that bad of a guy. All right, guys. No, you're a good dude, man, and you're a good dad. And I think that the most important thing is that we're all trying to be a better version of ourselves. And if you think you have it figured out, that's awesome. Good for you. But me personally, god dang, there's a lot of things I can improve on. And
yeah, you want to know what the number one thing is though? Is what you just said. Being a good dad. And a husband. Being a good dad and a husband does come before the reptiles. 100,000%, man. And that's something I want to focus on because not every day is a good day, dude. But you got to remember, like, you got to be a good husband. You got to be a good dad because they count on you. You're literally the leader for them. And so think about the person that leads your world. Like you don't want them to fail you, you know? And again, it's just something that I always consider, like regardless of what my goals are, nothing outdoes being a good dad and being a good husband. So, and that's it, man. I really take that serious. So
Hell yeah, man. All right. I appreciate you, brother.
yeah. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.